Lilimar, congrats on the film. It's phenomenal and it's become a sensation. It's the highest grossing animated movie ever. How has it just been seeing the success and playing this key role in this movie that's, really going into the history books because that has to be wild to just watch unfold.
Insane. I mean, first and foremost, incredibly thankful. I think the entire team, or at least us as actors, we expected it to do well with people, to resonate with its audience, for a lot of its original audience to come back and be like, oh, I watched this when I was really little. Now I'm a teenager or an adult, and I get to watch the second part and grow with her. Like those were a lot of the comments that I really loved seeing. But I don't, at least I didn't expect it to get like this big. It was more so like almost every day or every week since it released, it was like good news and good news and good news. So yeah, and the message is incredibly important. So I'm very happy that a lot of people got to see it and interact with it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this movie, has tackles mental health in a very real and informative way, and to see that just breaking records is not, it's just phenomenal to see something with such a great message resonating. What's kind of stood out about the fan response to the film? Because, like you said, a lot of people grew up with it, and they're really relating to the second film even more now.
Yeah, it made me really happy because I think there's some spaces where still maybe parents or just a lot of teenagers too, they feel like they never really had a space to tackle anxiety, to tackle what panic attacks are. There's a lot of psychology terms out there that get really popular, and a lot of people don't necessarily know what they really mean. So it's nice to have just something this big that's touching so many people, be done correctly, intentionally, with a lot of detail behind it, to really not only comfort people and let them know, hey, this is a really normal experience. This is nothing that's taboo. This is nothing you should feel ashamed of. And if it happens, maybe this is how you can go about it. And I mainly have just been happy to see families kind of have more of these conversations as someone that had the privilege to have that in my family, since a lot of my family members are in healthcare. So to see that kind of, I don't know, it makes me happy, especially for teenagers and for kids growing up. It's like emotional support is incredibly important.
Yeah, I love that this is a touchstone for like a whole generation now. That's going to be so helpful moving forward. And you have a really fun role here. You play Val. She's kind of who Riley looks up to. You're like the captain of the hockey team. You're super cool. What did you relate most to Val, other than just being the coolest person in any room, I'm sure.
Thank you. I I kind of liked what I think the audience was able to really pick up and appreciate too, was that she was very cool girl, absolutely just the leader, and just but has these leadership qualities that so easily sometimes are kind of swept under the rug when we want to go for the mean girl trope. And it's like a lot of the times, I remember when I was in elementary, there was always some older girl, like either in middle school or in high school, that just you felt like she had it all together, but she was just so real and so humble and so just willing to help anybody. And it's beautiful to see kind of an older sister figure that extends that hand out. And it's like, hey, I had to work just as hard as you feel you had to work. I had the anxiety attacks too. Like, but I'm here to be a good leader. And it makes sense why she's in that kind of captain position. So I was very much excited when I saw that we weren't really going for the cool mean girl trope or whatever.
But she is a cool character. She's got a good style. She's got the red streak in her hair. When you're like finding the voice and kind of like the little tone of the character, does it help to have like the clear visuals and like did you kind of find her like swagger or confidence from the character's looks?
I did, yeah. At first it was I didn't really have a lot of detail at all, like in the audition. Obviously, it's such a big project. They don't really give you much detail versus when I was finally able to do my first session at the Pixar campus, which was insane in and of itself. They had a mood board up and just kind of had everything there, and I got to see her and just some of the locations and stuff that they already designed. So like just seeing that was like, whoa, like oh my gosh, I get all the details. Like yes. Sometimes it's like, it's being animated, it's not ready yet, so you kind of have to do your own thing, and hopefully, the animators do their magic. But this was a case where like I really got to see her style, her hair, everything. So yeah, that definitely did help for sure.
And then I was just curious, are you a fan of hockey? Did this character kind of get you more involved?
It kind of did. I wasn't a hockey fan before. Like I liked it. I liked like watching it, or like if it just happened to be on somewhere, but zero clue on like teams, the general culture. Like I could not tell you a thing other than like this looks cool. I want to watch it if it's on. But definitely did a little bit of hockey watch time. Getting prepared for this, at least just to have the general energy.
That's fun. And you've done a lot of voice acting in the past. I was curious if anything just stood out about Pixar's approach because they always get such wonderful performances out of everybody.
I think it's also the general atmosphere. Like I was like just privileged enough to be able to go to the Pixar campus and work with them, with the team in person. So just seeing like the atmosphere, the vibe, it just you can sense when you're in a room with artists that love what they're doing and have the space and the budget to be able to do what they love. And it makes a huge difference. And I think it was a place where you could really just pitch ideas and work together and get excited about it. And I think it just made everything so much more real, and you could feel the passion everybody had behind it, especially the actors too. So I think it definitely had to do a lot with just the general environment. It was absolutely lovely to work in.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And your character is very much Riley's idol. What did you like most about that relationship that we see throughout the film?
Like I said, I think it's especially important since we're very young to teach, especially young girls, to find camaraderie and to find sisterhood with other girls, because we go through the same things a lot of the time. And especially when we're looking at somebody that has kind of the life that maybe we want or the confidence we'd like to have, it's like, it's nice when, oh, she's an older sister figure. Like she is just like me. She had to go through the same things I did. She probably had anxiety on her first, on her freshman year as well. Like it's nice to kind of show that we all have like a lot more similarities sometimes than we have differences, and to encourage that kind of, I want to say, compassion instead of rivalry and jealousy. So I loved just Val immediately stepping in, kind of immediately sensing like she's nervous, she's a little quirky, she's weird, but it's all in good fun. She's just starting out. I see so much talent in her. Let me take you under my wing. I know you got this. And I feel like Riley really needed that too.